I am just a man tipping on a wire, a tightrope walking fool, balanced on desire. I cannot control these ever-changing ways, so how can I be sure the feeling will remain? It'll always change, but everything I am is yours. Yeah, everything I am is yours. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. I find it hard to say what's going on inside. I've got these little walls, couldn't break them if I tried, but I promise I'll be true, and I promise I'll be right. Sickness and in health, in the darkness and the light, I give you every side, 'cause everything I am is yours. Yeah, everything I am is yours. I left my demons at the door, so what you opening it for? I guess they'll help you understand everything I am, everything I am. I left my demons at the door, so what you opening it for? I guess they'll help you understand everything I am, everything I am.
What does being on stage do to you?
I guess I think the only times I enjoy it is when it feels like you've left something behind which wasn't in the room before. So you've somehow managed to achieve some sort of synergy with people, and through something that you worked so hard on making, you know, and something that you kind of developed a form of discipline in order to create, you know. And that's really, you can live with that for like months, and you can kind of get off on that feeling for months. I've been touring for 10 years now, and there's been so many different moments that it just feels like a lifetime ago now, just because of COVID and everything. It feels strange to think about it. I haven't actually really even thought about it for a year or whatever. But
Do you enjoy being on the road?
Yeah, mostly I do. I get a lot out of trying to do the best show every night, and just the sense of camaraderie, and I love just. There's always a lovely moment during a tour when it kind of becomes a family, the crew and the band, and that's something I really value, because there's also something really nice about the fact that you know it'll be over soon.
Yeah.
So you can really indulge in that sort of sense of community that you kind of build on the road.
What kind of a performer do you feel that you are?
I remember Elvis Costello. Sorry, just dropping a name there. I remember Elvis Costello saying that.
Put him beside Dylan.
I remember him saying that I sang as if I was telling you a secret. I thought that was kind of cool. I was quite happy with that.
Do you have to adopt a persona, or what's your mask on stage? Do you feel under pressure to be a certain person on stage?
Not really, no. I tend to kind of live through the song, and I'm presenting the song, so it's like I feel like a conduit of some sort. And like I went through a very, very strange phase about 2 years ago where I was dancing all the time on stage, like really going for it, like, and not very well. And it was quite surprising to some people coming to the show. I remember my brother lives in Copenhagen, and he came to see me. He was like, "That was good. What's up with the dancing?" I was like, "I don't know. I just started dancing." I'm quite glad there weren't many cameras to get any of those shows.
That sounds like you're very open to whatever energy arises.
I think so, yeah. I mean, what happened there was quite funny because we had played Berlin, I think 2 nights before we went to Copenhagen, and we had it was a really exciting show because we had sold out this as big a venue as we'd ever played before in Germany, and it was a really buzzy show. And I was doing my dad dancing, but people were really digging it, and people were dancing in the audience. And it was just, I was like, "What's going on here? This is like nothing I've ever seen before at a Villager show." And then I wanted to remake that magic when I got to Copenhagen, but it didn't really translate for some reason.
You're forcing it a little bit.
Just felt like a guy dancing on a stage.
This works last night.
Yeah, it was weird. So I realized, whatever works, don't keep trying to repeat.
Yeah.
Don't keep trying to repeat the same thing.
What's your relationship to Vicar Street like? When is the first time you played here?
When's the first time I played here? Wow. I think it might have been, I could be wrong here, but it might be with my previous band, The Immediate, for a choice, one of the early choice prizes we were nominated for. And then I think probably it was with Kathy Davey. I played guitar for Kathy Davey for a couple of years. It was a pretty magic time. But it's one of the most friendly venues I've ever. Like, you come here and you feel like you've come to a home. There's a real warmth here, and I've even heard that from family members and people who come to the shows and stuff. They're just saying how well they were treated and how nice the atmosphere is and stuff. So I love that, because it just allows the show to really blossom, and it allows all the things that really matter to make the show work, kind of, to be able to thrive,
Yeah. Do you find yourself with hunger to do live work again?
I do now, yeah. The only reason for that is that I have a collection of songs that I'm really proud of, which I've worked on for the last 2 years, and I'm just dying to get them out there. And there's lots of brass in them, and I've really written them for that feeling of playing a live show with a full band,
Took a little time to get where I wanted. It took a little time to get free. It took a little time to be honest. And it took a little time to be me.
It took a little lover, but then we parted. It took a little time to get over this. And from time to time I get heavy-hearted, thinking of how we used to kiss. Courage,
feeling like no other. Let me tell you, yeah. Courage in harmony with something other than your ego. Courage, the sweet relief of knowing nothing comes for free. For free. Do you really want to know about these lines on my face? Well, each and every one is testament to all the mistakes that I've had to make to find courage, 'cause it's the feeling like no other. Let me tell you, yeah. Courage in harmony with something other than your ego. Courage, the sweet relief of knowing nothing comes for free. It's the feeling like no other. Let me tell you, yeah. Courage in harmony with something other than your ego. Courage, the sweet relief of knowing nothing comes for free.
I grew up in an old house, and once a year a mouse would appear in the most horrific possible place. Once on my pillow, I open my eyes and he's just standing, like eyeballing me. Hiya! Once in breakfast cereal, genuinely in the breakfast. And it was the era where toys used to come in breakfast cereal. And my mum's like, what did you win? I won a fucking mouse. And he somersaulted out and he lay in the ricicles, just staring up at me till I'd seen him. And then he went, hiya! Years went by, and this little guy became a very scared of mice man. And I got a place of my own, and it was full of mice. So I paid a man 400 euros to do whatever needed to be done. We didn't discuss what he was going to do. The company is called Rent-O-Kill. You don't have to ask Rent-O-Kill what they're doing. The clue is in the name with Rent-O. They're not like maim or relocate. They're not like befriend and then double cross. They're just like death wagon is coming to fuck you squeaky pricks up. When I spoke to him, it was the closest I'll ever get to like a mafia-style conversation. I'm like, can you come over? And he's like, it will be done. And he just hangs up. Sometime later, there was an issue in my house with very, very low water pressure in the taps. And the plumber came. And he said, did you at any point have an issue in this house with mice? And I was like, I do not like that. How dare you? Yes. What's going on? Please tell me. He said, so they've put down a chemical that dehydrates the mice So they go outside to search for water, but if they can't find a way outside, they smell water in the tank in the attic, and they all make their way up, and they dive into the tank and drown. And over the course of the next 6 to 8 months of the tank filling and emptying, the nutrients are washed from their bodies till they're just skeletons, and then the skeletons all sink to the bottom, and they get sucked into the top of the pipe. And you know what he said then? He said, yeah, that's all it was. Oh, is that all it was? Brilliant! I said, are you telling me that every cup of tea for the last 6 months has been mouse juice? And he's like, no, you idiot. That's the freshwater pipe. This would just be showering and brushing your teeth. Brushing your fucking teeth! Brushing your teeth! But I'll be honest, in trying to come to terms with this news, I actually don't think I'm scared of mice anymore. Probably because my own DNA, my own essential self is now over 90% mouse. Hiya! Yuck! Yuck!
Are you still collecting bicycles?
Yes. I mean, it's got ridiculous. It's got, so my lockdown project was, for lockdown 1, I was in Achill for 4 months with my parents, and I bought every part to build Stephen Roach's 1987 Tour de France winning bike. When I say every part, so I did all the research you can do, and I looked at photos, and I zoomed in on photos. Yeah, it's so, the bike is, it just goes so. The sad news is I live in a house with 14 bikes now, but I just love them, and they've been what got me through lockdown. It's funny being in Vicar Street, because every day when I'm in Dublin, I cycle to the Phoenix Park every single day, and I cycle up this road, and I look in to Vicar Street, which it's been tarted up for this today, but it's just had dust and chairs sitting up on things. And it's a funny kind of Planet of the Apes, end of the world kind of thing where you'd look in. But then, you know, as it's gone on and it's got towards Christmas, you're thinking, oh, one day.
You're, I think, like myself and like Aslan.
I am like you and Aslan. Keep going.
In that you're a warrior of the road. My impression of you is that you gig relentlessly.
Yeah, I love doing gigs.
Yeah. And that you're almost that's the work of it. Stagecraft, getting in front of audiences night after night. That's how we are in the world.
Yeah, I think there's some comedians are amazing at writing jokes and don't really like doing gigs that much. And there are others that quite like writing jokes and then really like, because I never finish writing a show. I just keep changing it all the time.
Yeah.
And so when I wake up in the morning, be it in Newport in Wales or Newport in Mayo or whatever after the gig, the first thing I do is listen to the gig the night before and then try and rewrite some bits for the next show tonight. And so I really love that aspect of it. Yeah. So it's, I mean, I get it from my dad, because my dad is a musician and he was in show bands, but then he was in his own jazz groups for all of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. So, you know, he was just gigging 5 nights a week, and it's kind of all just what I thought a job was. And then, I mean, I grew up in a mad house. Like, my brother is a bit older than me, and he would get up for school and go into the sitting room and be like, oh God, the hairy fella is asleep in the sitting, because Luke Kelly used to stay in the sitting room sometimes when I think he'd got in trouble at home. Our house was the sort of refuge place. So, you know, that was my growing up, was with, Dad had a 17-piece big band, and the house was small, so they would be coming up the stairs, and they'd be in the sitting room and the dining room, and just the sound of it as I was upstairs trying to do my homework, just banging on the floorboards. Keep it down.
Yeah.
Trying to do long division.
Has the architecture of your year just been turned on its head? Because my awareness of you is that you're always in Edinburgh, you're always in Melbourne, you're so fully plugged in to being a working comic. I think it's a phenomenally demanding way of life.
Yeah, I'm not going to want to do it forever, I don't think, because
But you have been doing it for how long? For
20 years, yeah. But you know, it takes such a toll on relationships, and I'd love to have a kid, but it just, you couldn't do it with this life. So it's been this period that I've really, really enjoyed. But yeah, in the same week in March, my career ended temporarily. I broke up with my girlfriend and I moved to an island with my 82-year-old parents. So, you know, it's been awful, but then it's been amazing in other ways. And it's been, I think for everyone, a sort of test of resilience. I've been really amazed how people have been able to adapt. Now, the problem, I think, with the human being is you adapt quite well. And then when you're on your own, going off to sleep that night, you do feel a lot of pain, because the upheaval has been really hard. But I mean, I'm 44. Who gets to move back in with their parents 20 years after they move out? And
losers.
Do you know what's been amazing is, since my teens, I've had a residual bit of, when I'm hanging with my parents, still part of me is like, but moving back in and fully, particularly as they need a bit of a hand, particularly when they were cocooning, like doing shopping and all of that, we just got past that. And now I just see them as two hilarious individuals. You know, I'm very like
deliberately hilarious, or?
But like, imagine being 82 and I would go into the kitchen sometimes and they'd both be laughing. And I'd be like, here, what's happened here? And Mum would be like, don't tell him. And I just walk back out again and go back to reading my book. So it was a real beautiful role reversal.
Go far without hitting the sea. I won't last long without a shop that I need Red Bull from to get me through the day. And I feel bad 'cause I didn't cry when someone I grew up with died, but I break down every time I'm on the scale. Always a cowboy, never the cow. I hate the way my life turned out. There ain't no ranch to roam inside my room. And I've got cotton wool for us. I won't be much use on the farm, so it's coming true. Always the cowboy, never the cow. I hate the way my life turned out. It goes faster every time that I go to sleep. Oh, talk about adventuring. I hope to God that this ain't it, and I just can't feel it, 'cause I got nothing left. Oh, I wanna be a cowboy, baby. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Spin round on the playground. Oh, I wanna be a cowboy, baby. I wanna be a cowboy, baby, alone. I don't need you to walk me home. You ask me what I want to be. I answered you so truthfully. I wanna go to my first rodeo. Oh, what's that cracked up to be? I wanna stop relying on men who are bigger than me. Oh, I wanna be a cowboy, baby. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Spin round on the playground. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. I wanna be a cowboy, baby, alone. I don't need you to walk me home.
You've never let me down on stage. And what I mean by that is anytime I go and see you, I know it's going to be, first of all, it's going to be very challenging to me individually as a comic to see you because you're so good. And secondly, I know the quality of what you do is so high that it's like you're the standard.
Asked of it.
Right. I'm only telling you what I feel, and it's the commitment to the live act, and it's the quality of the observations, but also it's what I've noticed over the past 5 or 6 years is confidence.
Yeah.
And ownership of the stage, and kind of a playfulness. And I think what I'm curious about is how vital the constant touring was to that, because we would all know comics who are successful, can tour, stop for a year and a half,
Yeah.
and come back with another show, and it's kind of yeah.
Yeah.
But you seem to be getting bigger and better, and so how integral is the work rate to that?
I mean, firstly, can I say that I was your sport act in 2003, and I got to see the bright lights of the Dolman Hotel in Tullamore. It was the first time I ever got. We played this room here 60 times on that tour, and I probably wasn't much good at the start, but then by the end was getting used to, because you start out playing these tiny rooms where, it doesn't take much in a 40-seat room sometimes it just clicks, and other times, you just go, not for me, this gig. Whereas suddenly, playing for your crowd, people just had to enjoy it. I wanted to be a jazz musician when I was from about the age of 16 onwards. And then there was a realization that I didn't have the chops. I just didn't have the ears to do it. And then very luckily around that time, I saw Randy Newman for the first time in concert. And I'd been in and around stand-up because my brother was a stand-up before me. And I remember seeing that musical thing and thinking there's a way of doing that in a comedy world. And then I was really lucky because I did my first Edinburgh, and in my second Edinburgh, in the room after me were Flight of the Conchords, who were 5 steps further along that journey than I was, of doing a sort of a musical concert that was just as funny as a stand-up. It wasn't like the kind of musical comedy that I'd grown up with, which is like a joke at the end of every verse, whatever. This was like constant bang, 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 while they were being incredibly musical. I remember thinking, that's what I would like to be able to do then, yeah.
There's nothing like the roar here, I think, and if you get on a roll here, it's
but I mean,
amazing.
but that's all from our gigs here together. You know, that was the first time I experienced that. And there was you would always give me a very nice introduction here, such that, it's your show, but the people, once I got to a certain level, the people would be like, oh, this is all right, this guy here. Yeah. And then you got this amazing roar at the end if you'd done well, which was, we weren't even expecting this. Yeah. And this guy was pretty good. And the main act is to come. So there was that sense of, I mean, that's one of the most joyous things in doing, as a memory, doing those. And then obviously moving on to be able to play it myself then a few years later. The other beautiful thing is because the diversity of acts that get to play here, I mean, this is such a small, stupid thing. I remember once, one of my first gigs here, and there were snacks in the dressing room, and they were Ben Folds snacks left over from the gig the night before. And I just love the idea that it's this constantly evolving room where you take the chairs out. Yeah. You have a villagers gig there where people might be all jumping around. And then the next night it's your comedy show. Then the night after that, it could be, whatever. You could... the
Luke Kelly tribute.
Or a big dog fight, bring in loads of dogs.
The dance on the pedals, the flash of light through trees, the click to the next gear, pushing into the breeze. Broken white lines slip away, ahead is just open road. Now breath is the only sound. Time has slowed.
When I'm freewheeling, it's such a sweet feeling. When the colors of the sunlight mix with the colors of my mind, and I find some clarity without even trying. And when I break my first sweat on an unexpected hill, and my physicality fuses with my will to live.
I'm freewheeling. It's such a sweet feeling. And when I'm in the rhythm, there's a pattern in the air. the condensation forms droplets in my hair.
And I know my powers as I put the world to right. I think of all the good times and how I really love my bike.
I'm free wheeling. It's such a sweet feeling. Bury me with my bike, or don't bury me at all. Just put me up on the saddle, push me and watch me roll. I don't want to get off, I'm balanced up here on the greatest invention of the greatest engineer.
When I'm freewheeling, it's such a
Sweet